So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
We are live here on YouTube at Hutch Henry, chatting all things wrestling, all things post-WrestleMania, all things Raw after WrestleMania, and, well, whatever the hell we feel like in between. We're your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I'm joined by Hutch. Hutch, que pasa?
What's up, brother? It's been a pretty fun weekend and more wrestle. I'm glad it was finally like the WrestleMania after Raw actually had a little bit of stank on it for once. Hey, it's been a while.
It did, right? And it honestly felt like new, refreshing, different stuff happening. It was a fun one. It was a good one. A lot of people were still complaining about it, saying that nothing big happened. I'm like, it literally felt like a new season.
Yeah, like it's not like, you know, obviously expectations are high. You know, people like can fantasize, or they have this expectation of a feeling that they're gonna get, and then they don't get it. But they don't realize that feeling is 10 years old, and we've all had social media. You know, like it's like a drug. When you take it a lot, it stops taking effect. Well, WWE's drug is overdrive now. Like everything is so manufactured and plastic and obvious, and like way more corporate bottom line money than like feeling. They manufacture moments, but they don't give us real moments. Like there's no Dolph Ziggler moments anymore. You know, like coming in and cashing. But we're all chasing that feeling, and so they give us a great show like this, but it doesn't quite satisfy. You know, it's it's methadone. It's not heroin. You know, it's you're still getting something, but it ain't it. But you know, Oba Femi's starting off. They like, you know, it's pretty much 100% that he's on Raw now, right? Like we got to think of this how WWE thinks of it. The Raw and SmackDown is like a big deal to them after Mania. So him coming out and just saying like I'm here, whatever he said, is his way of saying like I'm on Raw. Be ready. So
they made a big point of, you know, saying, hey, I'm going to be on SmackDown. This person's on Raw. They made a big point about that yesterday, right? Like, open season's over. We're back to a brand split. And for those of you listening anywhere else, whether it's be podcasts or wherever we are on, I was using air quotes on that one because let's be honest, the brand split's a half. And it's a brand split by name, similar to our friendship.
Yes, exactly, right? It's just a friendship by name. It's a working relationship. I'm
joking.
I still think you're Cuban. You're like, I'm not Cuban.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm kidding. But you know, like speaking of draft, like I don't think we really need the draft. Like I could do without a draft. Like just tell me who's on what brand and why they're on it, and we're switching brands. Like just the idea that it's after WrestleMania and people are switching brands, or like it's like the general managers are making deals. Well, I talked to Pierce and we're losing 4 people, but we're gaining 3, but one of them's definitely worth 2. And it's like, okay, you know, like they should just make deals between themselves. Like the idea of a draft it's like mocks us with the fact that it's not real sport. They're like, hey, we're real sport. It's welcome to ESPN, WWE, and it's the draft. And we're here with freaking, you know, they've got, what's his name in the audience? What was the guy? Sam Scott.
Yeah.
They booed the hell out of him.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't believe I can't remember his name because, you know, he's very dislikable. So I'm actually glad I don't remember his name completely. But yeah, like, you know, I don't need a draft. Enough of this freaking like whatever it is, the NBA behind the scenes thing, the desk, whatever they do backstage. I don't need that feel for WWE. We're already corporate enough.
It's funny you say that because there's another group, a subgroup of fans who love that ish. They love that shit. They love making it feel like sports and like that sports feeling.
Yes, and I think there's like a halfway point. You know, like because wrestling is fake. Sorry, guys.
Whoa!
I know I used the wrong word. Because it's predetermined.
There we go.
Going too far into sport is like you mock us a little bit. You know, it's like we know there's no draft. We know you're just picking people. So like, you know, nobody's bidding, nobody's paying, nobody's like a seed. Like, screw you. Get out of here. So like, just give us a little bit of credit. But hey,
I hear it.
Comment. Let us know that I'm an idiot and you disagree.
Where's my keyboard? Let me find my keyboard. No, it's true. It's very true. I go in, I go in between with the two, right? I love the sports feeling, but I also think, like you said, I don't want to make it. Look, we know what we're watching, right? We know what we're watching. I don't need to have it slapped in my face sometimes.
Yeah,
that I'm the nerd.
There's been years where within 2 weeks somebody's already showing up on the other show a lot, and then there's years where they draft people that like Gable Steveson and like Emelina and people like they don't even show up. You know, it's ridiculous. You're wasting a top draw. Like that would never happen in real sports. Like the controversy of wasting your first top pick on some kid, like straight out, like his first year sign. And turns out he's got a broken leg, but he'll get over the infection. It's all right.
It happens.
You're finding an injured guy. It's like, yeah.
Look, but here's the thing. In sports, they're unproven commodities from high school or college versus in wrestling, they're already pros. So it's kind of silly that we're having a draft for people who are already pros.
Yeah, and like there's been times where they've drafted factions. It's like, okay, I'll take Eddie Guerrero, and it's like, well, I'll take the NWO or the
craziest
MFTs.
draft.
I'll take Timu Bloodline, all 5 of them. You know, it's like Jesus. All right,
the craziest draft was still that first one. Remember that first one when they broke up the Dudleys? They broke up, I think, the Hardys as well. They broke up everyone. It was a big FU to anyone established.
Yeah, like they wanted to get the real reactions too, right? Because he's like, oh, I want the TV pal. Rah, rah. And Jim Ross, they like screwed with Jim Ross like really bad.
But at that point, no one knew what was going to happen, right?
But then like the year after it went all like weird, evil super villainy. And that's where like, you know, it was Eric Bischoff out there. And he's like, well, for my pick, I'm picking all 5 members of the NWO. And you're like, whoa, you can't do that. And he's like, well, like, so like, it's crazy. It is fun, but I think I can do without it. You know, like it's 2026. It's all, they don't do well at fun anymore.
All right, let's talk about a few things before we talk about the Raw after WrestleMania. That's what we're going to focus on. But there's a couple news items I wanted to get your feeling on. The first
2
one
items,
is
both of which I have no real information on. So hit me with it.
All right, let's talk some TKO. TKO is making a lot of news. As you know, TKO is getting some flack or praise, depending on what side of the fence you're on, as it pertains to celebrities and the celebrity involvement in WWE. And, you know, especially with the whole Pat McAfee fallout, people were like, how much control does TKO have versus Triple H? You know, and let me say some quotes, right? All right, so during a Q&A, with 15 students at the University of Alabama. This was recorded by a Reddit user, and it was posted on Reddit and X and a few other places, but it was all audio only. I wasn't able to find it. And this was, like I mentioned, like at the Q&A portion. Now, as it pertains to the high volume of celebrity involvement in WWE programming, including Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll, Logan Paul, IShowSpeed, Shapiro did not deflect. And this is what he said. And I quote, first of all, it has complete control, so we're responsible. Good or bad, fact or fiction, Shapiro said of TKO's relationship with WWE. Now, people are basically interpreting this, and as people would, as Triple H has no say. TKO is writing everything. Why is TKO even around? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know if you've ever worked in the corporate world, and I can tell a lot of people making comments have never worked in the corporate world, but you're just a number. You're just a person, whether you're head of creative or whatever. At the end of the day, the corporate ladder still has a few rungs on top of you. So guess what? He meant TKO has final say, and guess what? They're going to do things. They're going to insert people as they wish. I wouldn't, like a lot of people say, like, Triple H has a 1 foot out the door. I personally think he does, but for other reasons. But people are like, Triple H is leaving. This is it. This is the end. This is the beginning of the end. Thoughts on this one first?
You know the story where Kevin Smith was talking about doing the Superman movie with...
Yep.
With Nicolas Cage, and the big time producer was all like, spiders, hey, like spiders are scary. Imagine a huge spider, like he has to fight a massive spider, and like he made Kevin Smith like write it into the script. And of course, this movie never happened. But said producer also then eventually was the producer of
Wild West.
Wild West, which is why you have like the huge mechanical spider, right? They were like forced to do this. Like these people are crazy. I just because like the IATSE's a little weird lately, right? Usually I'm like carpentry, you know, like I'm welding, we're building stuff. Lately, I've been working for production because I have other skills and I like forklift stuff around, telehandler. I handle stuff for production. They like me, as you can imagine. I'm talkative, so all the production ladies like me. So I'm doing like my bro stuff, but with mostly a bunch of ladies and effeminate men and production people. And some of them are like totally cool, down to earth people. But you get these higher ups that are just like completely delusional, and it's like the difference is stark because there'll be like the key scenic, like the head of the scenic department. I'm dropping off some stuff at her personal. They've all come back from the Yukon recently. So now I'm taking care of dropping stuff off at their homes for them, like personal belongings that have come in on planes and things. So I'm going to this key scenic's house. She's renting an apartment. Nice lady, makes a lot more money than I do. And I'm giving her stuff at her rented apartment. Then the person above her, who's like above the line producer of like, so like all scenic and prop, I go to their house and it's like an opulent mansion. You know those houses where they redo the front of it, all like flat slate wood. It's like an old house, but they've made the front look new. And like this, and this person is delusional. When I talk to them on a personal basis, they're like completely self-absorbed. They don't have time for anything, but they want you to have all the time in the world for them. It's like a completely different mindset. So yeah, it's all about the money. And like the little people don't matter. And if they do matter, it doesn't matter later. You know, that Robert Downey quote I did the other day from Natural Born Killers, where he's like, you think the morons out there in TV land remember anything, Davey? It's all candy for the brain. Yeah, it's nothing. Like, they don't think we remember. They're surprised when we remember. They hate the internet. They're like, goddamn cage match. You know, they hate us.
Yep.
I just want to be able to sweep the rock under the rug, and none of that stuff with Travis Scott happened, you know?
Yep, exactly. Another interesting talking point is how they know that they're rubbing long-term fans the long way. And this is what he had to say about that.
We're spending me the long way.
The wrong way. The wrong way.
You
the
said
wrong
long.
way. A little long.
I like better.
I know I did. Cool. Oh my lordy.
I'm just saying, like, you haven't rubbed me the long way in a while. It's all been like the short, like the painful one. Anyways, go on.
The
sorry.
short and stub.
Yeah,
we're spending a lot more money to market the. We're spending a lot more money to market the brand and market the content. And when you do that, you're going to win some folks over, but you're also going to chase some folks away. They don't like this or they don't like that. This is too expensive. They were also talking about kind of how they're creating this weird network of TV, especially in the U.S., where Raw's on Netflix, CW has an NXT, USA Network has SmackDown, PLEs are on ESPN, NXT PLEs are on YouTube, and it's this fragmentation.
ESPN too.
He also likened this to, you know, how a lot of pro sports now are on streaming services. So you can't watch everything on one streaming service anymore, where you kind of have to get 10 streaming services. And I don't know if you've seen the math on some of these, but people did the math, especially for the NFL, on what it would cost for you to watch every single game on the NFL. And it's just like some absurd in the thousands number.
Wow, really? That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, you had some low grade people like Fight who had WWE pay-per-views and AEW, but, you know, DAZN, I don't think, is double dipping. WWE is probably prone to contracting. You can't have other wrestling people there. I've been kicked off of fast platforms back in the day when it all first started. And, you know, something as simple as like TNA or MLP, like lower guys that were more important than us, like making TV deals, you know, and then we're left with Telemundo, who loves us but has no money. You know, you'd be surprised. You know, it's weird stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm very glad for the first time. There's a lot. I used to love being Canadian. There's not a lot great about Canada right now, but all of my WWE on Netflix, I can handle that. Thank you very much.
There we go. Canada's still better than a lot of.
What's up,
places.
Scotty?
Exactly, Scott. Welcome back on the chat here on @HutchHenry's on the tubes of you. So yeah, like all this corporate stuff. Look, we know that it is a corporate entity now. We see the corporate entity at work. We see the factory being a bigger factory than it ever was before. You know, it will draw out some fans and maybe it'll create some new ones. But do you think at some point TKO is going to be like, maybe we need to take a step back? Or do you think they're just going to plow through?
No, they'll plow
How much
through. They're like,
are they willing to listen?
It really depends. I mean, somebody, you know, obviously higher ups can change. You might have someone that comes in with a vision, like Paul Heyman. Yeah. But I mean, like, they might not be in favor right now, but people like Trump and people like Musk, like they make actual moves, and because they're like slightly off. They're like, this is my idea, and then they implement their idea, and they don't care. You know, it was their focused autistic style plan the whole time, and once they got there, nothing was going to stop them. Whereas other people might not be quite as obsessive or focused on their exact goal, but they're, you know, they have a wide overview. So if somebody like that comes in, who's like willing to listen and then realize that that's the right thing, you know, somebody who's doesn't always think they're right. But really, I don't have an answer to you, Boris. I'm kind of babbling. What I really think is I would love them to just power through, suck it dry, kill off the fan base like you did with Star Wars and all this other stuff, and then sell it off as an entity, a withered arm, and replace it with your robotic arm, and some person will buy the bone and the flesh and put it in a petri dish and grow a Frankenstein. It is the new WWE, hopefully with all of their corporate branding and merchandise and history, and maybe even the library, and WWE will continue. But I sure hope TKO's involvement, I hope the bloated corporate WWE either dies or gets sold off. Because a Tony Khan with the WWE branding, a Tony Khan-esque type person, or even Tony Khan himself, like, I would love for Tony Khan to have WWE now.
You would think so, but you would think so, and you would hope that he knows what he's doing.
You know, well, there's always, you know, there's people out there. You know, there's Jericho's. There's people that are 10 years away from being the kind of person you think about as a Triple H, and they're going to come in with some money and some backing when things get to their worst, and they're going to take control of something, whether it's, you know, who knows what it is, but it's coming. Yeah. We're in one of the dark periods. We just had a beautiful period, man, from like 2019 and through pandemic and like into now. There's a lot of news, a lot of adventure, a lot of uncertainty, you know, a lot of ups and downs. But coming out of pandemic, it went really up, and now we're in another down period.
But then it's funny because then on the flip side, you have AAA, right, where things seem so much better right now, at least for now.
So good. But it's also like the way it's being presented is very, very TNA prepackaged, filming days, splitting up for periods of time. Hopefully they can get into more live shows, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, they've got a really good fan base. Like 75% of YouTube users and Spanish speaking language, like people, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and they watch a lot of content.
I just love being able to watch AAA on a weekly basis, as opposed to whenever these Grace websites decide to put up their shows, right?
Yeah.
Outside of Mania, you could never watch anything live.
Well, you know, CMML does a lot of stuff. IWRG does a lot of stuff all on YouTube.
Yeah.
And AAA did have their events, but there was very few and far between where they had the English commentary. They were doing it for a while. They had Stryker down there. They had other people down there. Then they literally had just guys in their houses watching the stream, and they would take their commentary and like stream it out there like as lo-fi as they could. And then it got to the point where they gave you an option. You could like choose between one or two different guys, like this guy in Jersey or this guy here. And they're just like in their living room watching and like commentating. And that's the feed they have. Just some schmuck, probably not even getting paid. And then they got rid of all that.
Again, before Amazon really owned Twitch, this is the way that you would be able to watch a lot of these things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On Twitch too. Yeah. Twitch.
Remember those days?
Like, after Amazon, they tried to do a fish anyways. That was gone for a while too. So I don't mind what's happening now, but even the prepackaged commentary from JBL and Mysterio and Corey can sometimes feel canned and boring, but other times feels good, you know. But
it feels like they're commentating from a studio. You know what I mean?
It does, and like you can not make it feel that way. You know, it's been done a lot. You know who was really good at that was Jim Ross and Josh Barnett when they did the Access TV New Japan stuff for a while. Like, man, they were great at those overdubs, man. And I'm sure that it's like Jim and Josh hanging out, drinking vodka and like watching it in a studio. And they're like, this is great. Cause it was good quality stuff. Those are like the early Okada years and like his majority of his reign, and all like recapping the best G1 matches from those years. And AJ Styles is there and all that stuff. So like they had a lot to work with, but man, that's how you do it, bud.
Yeah, because it was like from 10 to 15. And I know that once New Japan World got bigger and bigger, that show was still around. But, you know.
And even Kevin Kelly did a good job. I'm a Kevin Kelly fan. Like, I don't care.
Kevin Kelly was great.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, but he's persona non grata now. We don't get to like hear him. But his New Japan stuff was awesome. You know, he's the one who really gave Chris Charleston. the confidence to become a full-time commentator. And now he's got Walker Stewart there. And, you know, Walker's just smooth like velvet, baby. Velvet that you drink.
He owes me an interview, and he knows this. Every few weeks, he's like, we're still on. We're still on.
Scotty knows. Kevin Kelly's great. Yeah, and like Walker Stewart. We should make a meme of like the Walker brand, like Johnny Walker, except it's like Walker Stewart, and make a bottle, except it's like drinkable velvet. You know, like AI can help us do this, right? And you're like, Walker Stewart Walker, drinkable velvet, like 110 million proof or whatever. Well, it'll be fun, you know.
All right, let's move on. Fans.
Speaking of fun memes and stuff, before we continue, you always read articles. Like just now, you read the Shapiro stuff. You've read a few things now, right? You read like reviews. All right. You need when you get your Stream Deck, or we do like, you know, a keyboard, like on off, should be an on off that you can hold it down. You hold it down, everything goes black and white, and there's a band pass filter that goes over your voice. So you sound like you're like a 60s radio, and it's just like, and you should just like immediately, as if you're like reading like an old timey newspaper. If the black and white can have like film grain, that'd be great. It'd be like, all right, well, hearing it, and be like, yeah, man, there we go. Bit by bit, slowly, like Anakin Skywalker. We're slow learners, but we're going to get there eventually. We're going to chop the heads off.
I hate that so much. I know, right?
Yes, we're going to burn to death and kill children eventually, but we're slower learners. All right, enough of that. You know what's weird is that's not coming through my phones. That's coming through my system here. So that I got to check that out.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. All right, let us talk about fan behavior and fans during WrestleMania 42. Apparently, where TKO was skimming out was in security. Because last year, there was a lot of security protecting, for lack of better words, wrestlers when they were leaving the hotel where they were staying. This year, that wasn't happening. And obviously, fans and other people, stalkers, for lack of a better term, were able to get free access to wrestlers, no questions asked. So there were a lot of issues. Someone who spoke out about this was Drew McIntyre on X. He said this: for those fans who spent hard-earned money on a chance to say hello, take a photo, have something signed, or give me one of my many, many bracelets, I appreciate each and every single one of you. But then he said, to those who rushed my family and I in the hotel, kept your kids up till 2 a.m., throwing them in front of us, or shoved the camera in my face without asking, you're lucky I'm a calm-natured person outside the ring. Please don't do that ever again. Now, this is on top of all of what happened on Sunday night when a fan after WrestleMania Night 2 confronted, or CM Punk had a confrontation with him because CM Punk literally grabbed his phone and tossed it down to the floor. This person then sold his footage to TMZ, and you only got half of the interaction. And that's the interaction where CM Punk was flipping out on this person. Of course, there's always two sides to this story, and we saw the other side where this person was basically up in the face of AJ Lee and Bailey as they were having a personal moment, having a hug. And that's when CM Punk kind of steps in and says, guys, come on. And you can even see Bailey like putting the phone down, saying like, no, like, we're friends right now. And there was other Cora Jade, Elena Black. She apparently got groped at WrestleCon. There was a lot of, you know,
they were like following him with a phone. They were like, you like groping your young girls, and he's just like walking, and the phone's like right in his face.
Yeah, that was Casey Navarro.
Yeah. Oh, was that Casey Navarro doing that?
There was a lot of incidents. Yeah, that was Casey Navarro.
Now I'll watch it, and I can feel the pink hair through the phone. Yes.
Yeah. And all his personal belts. So yeah, so for all the good and awesome fans, there's always those bad apples that like really are getting a little too aggressive.
Yeah, man. Like when The Rock and John Travolta get together, you got to be cool, man. Get Shorty Part 2. Be cool. Like they will like you so much better.
Movie.
Yeah. It's not a great. Get Shorty is a great book and a great movie. Be Cool is a much better book. It's not a very good movie, but yes, I love it. Dude, like I used to work at HMV. You know, I mean, rock stars I met where I like barely speak to them and just help them with like they love it when you treat them like a person, and then suddenly they treat you really well. It's amazing. Like, now, granted, you don't often have like long-term access to someone, so it's not like if I'm cool while Drew McIntyre's here, he's going to be like, hey, you know, you're really playing it cool, buddy. Let's be friends. But like, if you are in a situation where you're around them and you get to be around them, like just fucking play it cool, man, all the time. and it's always much better for you. I got up like some awesome interactions I've had in my life, and the amount of wrestlers that I've booked compared to how many pictures I have with wrestlers and whatnot is like, it's like non-existent. I have a picture with Gangrel. I don't know why, but I was like, dude, Gangrel, smile with the fangs. I have a Nikolai Volkov picture where he's like strangling me, like when he smiled, and I was like, no, mean face, and he just went like, oh, grabbed me, and I was like, ah, and I was like, I can't find it, which drives me nuts, but I have it somewhere on social as one of my socials. If I say MySpace, I'm gonna look really old. But yeah, like very few photos. Just be cool, man. They like you so much better. You want this person to be your friend. Okay, that's what you want. In reality, you don't want a picture where you know they were mad at you because of this picture, or you don't like. I just don't get it. It's so much nicer to like take a picture of the lion from afar, and then like sit down and the lion moves closer to you, or whatever it is. You know, like when you're trying to get the attention of a dog or the trust of a dog, you sit close to it, but you let it come to you. And then you have a friend for life.
Be tranquilo about it.
And tranquilo.
The other thing is that this is why a lot of celebrities really do like Toronto and TIFF for the most part, because for the most part, it's starting to change a little bit. But Toronto was always kind of like a safe haven for athletes and celebrities where they can just be themselves, go out in public, do what they need to do, and they're not bothered for the most part. It's starting to change a little bit, but you know, compared to other places, what we're seeing with wrestlers, it's just crazy. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And the collectors, don't even get me started on you.
Yeah, like
not even the collectors is one thing, it's the resellers.
Yeah, those guys really, they're very annoying, and they're annoying to all of us and to the people that are signing the item. But I actually didn't watch the CM Punk like I saw the footage a little bit and I didn't listen. I turned it on mute. Like I don't really want to hear people yelling at each other. I didn't want to have an opinion of what the fan was right or CM Punk was being obnoxious. You know, like he can be a little bit drippy, too drippy for me and too righteous with his opinions. You know, like I have opinions, and when people are like, hey, I disagree, and I'm like, yeah, well, why? And they're like, well, this reason, this reason, this reason, and this reason. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with all those, but you know, I can see why you agree with those. And you know what? Okay. I'll chill. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that think the way you do. So I'll be less militant with my opinion. I don't think CM Punk's that kind of guy. He's like, no, I know right from wrong. My brother stole money from me once and I haven't talked to him in 40 years. F that guy. And it's like, okay, all right, cool. You know what I mean? That's so I don't want to hear CM Punk yelling at some guy, because if he's even slightly in the wrong, or if he definitely has a right to be mad at this person, he's not going to take it easy at all. He's going to go so far that you start to think, hey, is CM Punk being abusive to this guy? And then you're like, he kind of deserved it. You're like, okay, well, if I didn't.
He took his best friend to court. What type of person do you think
man,
he
like
is?
some of those stories are crazy. Like my woman always says, it doesn't matter how right you are. If you're like yelling like if you're yelling louder than anybody and you won't stop, everybody thinks you're wrong and thinks you're crazy. It doesn't matter if later everybody finds out you were 100% right. Everybody's just like, whoa. So
interesting, you know? Interesting thing for her to tell you.
Thanks a lot. But hey, you know what? My personality's done me well, man. You know, some of these, like I was saying just now with the like being cool, like just chilling out. Like I've had situations, like many situations, and then later on, that person recognizes me and is like chill with me. Like I'm trying to remember his name, David something or other. Who's the singer from Moist? You know, like we were doing some stuff together.
David Usher.
David Usher, yes. And so like I didn't really interact with him too much. I was just chill about it. And then one time we were together in the same spot and we ended up chatting like crazy. And you know, the way I am, and wham. So, and the reason I remember this so prominently is I was actually on a first date with some girl. And we were walking down the street and I was like talking with her, and like David Usher was walking this way and he just went like, hey Jay. And I went like, oh, hey man. You know, and then it was like very impressive for this young lady. I was like, yeah, nice. Thank you, David Usher, for totally recognizing me and remembering me. But like, I have a few of other things like that in my life. Like even, you know, so and Same. All of those Honestly, came from like not being annoying at all. Like just don't care, right?
My friend Jane, or anytime that we're out in public, lo and behold, someone's going to recognize me. Someone's going to say something. Someone's going to say hi to me. Some of these people are famous. Some of these people are like athletes, singers, what have you, right? And she's like, every single fucking time we're out, someone knows you.
It is kind of neat. The quantum world works well that way. It's funny. The mother of my child, one of our first dates, like we we were in the same spot a lot, but then we were like, hey, let's do this outside of this spot. Let's go have a date. And it was very casual. And on that day, not famous people, but just people. Like everywhere we went, people I hadn't seen in years, people like the doorman at a place, you know, it was just everybody was like, I kept bumping into people that knew me. And I remember being like, wow, this is like a cut above the usual rate of people that I bump into. It's like happening a lot tonight. And it just made me look really friendly and like that I knew everybody. And she was like, wow, you're really great. Yeah. I was like, the universe is sure making it seem that way today. Yes. You know, it's great.
Yep.
So, but I don't get recognized by famous people as much as you do, of course, Boris, you know. Amazing how that happens.
There you go. There you go. All right, Hutch. Anything else you want to talk about before we jump into Raw?
Into Raw.
Yeah,
you know what? On the same topic, some of the coolest like footage I have. So working on Mayor of Kingstown for like a long time, like 11 months. There was a long stretch on that show for season 1. And so throughout the summer, there's this huge area where there's groundhogs, and I was constantly feeding groundhogs bananas, like carrots, you know, like the craft area. So I'm taking stuff, and I'm always sitting there with the groundhogs and filming the groundhogs. And one day, somebody's behind me comes up. He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, it's groundhogs." I'm like, "Here." I give him a carrot, and it's freaking Jeremy Renner, and he's so small. And I'd seen him a few times. His assistant is so big. He's so small. I can't believe how small he is. And I'm just like, he's there, and he's wearing like this like pork pie old man hat and all this shit, all this stuff. And and so I have full on footage of Jeremy Renner having a conversation with me. You can hear his voice, and you can see most of his arm coming into the footage and like feeding groundhogs and like giggling like and like they would like run away and stuff. And like probably like a good 10 minutes of conversation where you don't see his face once, but you see his shoes and his arm, and you hear him the whole time. And I'm just like, there was not a single point where I was going to move this camera up to his face. I was like, nope, that's not happening. But like, he's got nice hands. What can I say? Right?
He's got nice hands. Use that for the next intro. There you go.
I'll combine that with the rub me the long way bit, and it'll be like,
exactly.
Rub me the long way in a while, and it's like, he's got nice hands. Anyways, let's go.
I like that. There we go. That's what we're going to be doing here on A Plus Wrestling.
Let's talk wrestling on A Plus Wrestling instead of how cool we are.
I know, right? Let's talk some wrestling. WrestleMania weekend just ended. We had review shows for both night 1, night 2. You can find them on A Plus Wrestling's podcast channel, which you can go to for your podcasting app, search for A Plus Productions or A Plus Wrestling, or you can go watch them over on the tubes of you at Hutch Henry's. Anything that you want to talk about quickly about WrestleMania weekend that we didn't get a chance to, or something that you rewatched the match and you thought differently, or just, as I like to call them, sober second thoughts?
You know, I mentioned to you that I rewatched a bit of night 1 and that I really enjoyed Liv and Steph. And in a vacuum, with the pacing of it from beginning, I thought it was great. And then Liv did great the next night against Saul Ruca as well, which we're going to talk about here. Like Liv's a freaking superstar. So yeah, good stuff. I don't know what to say. It was what it was. Thank God night 2 delivered in some ways. And people even saying that's one of the best main event matches of all WrestleManias. And like, I can see the points they make are valid points. And the people who say that that's not the case, it's very mid, but still good, they make points. And then there's some people who are like, nah. And some of them make good points.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's your opinion, man. That's the beauty about wrestling sometimes. The beauty and the curse of wrestling is how subjective it is.
Yeah, man. Like we could probably still talk night 2, but like night 3 was Saturday. What is it? It's like Tuesday, and like I got ADHD. It's 2026. Like it's not happening. I can't remember nothing.
Raw after WrestleMania starts off with Oba Fett out, and he says the ruler has arrived. That is it. Yeah. I kind of laughed. I laughed. Number 1, I watched this Raw live. Never doing this again. Number 2, I howled at this because it just reminded me of that skit. I'm a man of few words, and that's it.
Well, that's all he really needed to say. Less is more. We're probably going to get a lot of Oba Femi over the next year, and hopefully for a long time. But you know, it's nice that it's nice that people go wild and people are excited about somebody, you know. And it's nice that we feel this dominance coming, and hopefully they'll stick with it, because it gives you a good feeling. And wrestling's all about feelings, right?
Question.
And they're monstrous.
Do you give him a belt do you give him a world title between now and the next WrestleMania?
between, I don't know if it happens, if it comes up. I mean, there might be an opportunity coming up very soon on the very show that he is on, in fact, right? Or no, I guess he's on SmackDown is where this might be happening. All right. So, but still, like, I think WrestleMania would be good. Imagine him and Roman next year at Mania after he's been chasing. Roman's had a dominant year and he's chasing and he's over and I don't know, maybe beats Gunther. Who knows what he does on the way there, right? But I don't know, maybe. Legendary moments.
Scott with a great point here. Everybody remembers the legendary moments of WrestleMania. Then when the show doesn't give a rematch, these moments, they feel that the show is horrible. The other issue with a lot of people, and this is wrestling in general, is a lot of people like us who listen to these shows, who read the websites and what have you. Everyone does this fantasy booker in their head, right? And it's a very similar issue to a lot of other IPs, where if what you think in your mind doesn't happen on the screen, it's shite. There we go.
Yeah, well, everybody loves Oba. There's not much negative stuff out there. You know, this isn't like an overhyped call-up that's not going to deliver. There's a good chance we're going to get we're all going to get femized. It's going to be nice. Feminized.
And the Oba feminists are going to be all happy.
There's something there. There's something there. Keep it cooking, bud. We'll find it.
That's what they call themselves. It's a group.
Oh, okay.
The thing.
Well,
on
they should
social
have kept
media.
cooking. That's not quite there, I don't think.
Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley get the win.
Yes, hopefully the fact that like Asuka was berating an unconscious Kairi on the floor might be like near the end of this story, and especially with like Liv looking all like forlorn and like heartbroken that she's going to SmackDown. You know, I got that vibe, like very much like bye Io. And so hopefully they can pay this thing off and finish off this storyline that somehow involves Evil coming and joining the whole thing. Because, you know, every day I wonder, where is Evil?
What about her? What about Hiromu?
Where is Hiromu, Joe? Where's Hiromu, Joe? You know he's on his way, right? No, Hiromu.
Adam Pearce.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
They're not winning, man. Kabuki Warriors look so good. The promo with Asuka beforehand where she's like rolling her R's and just like going hard with her makeup and like, I'm better than you. Like, so cool, man. And then they lose constantly. And it's because of Kairi on the time. Like, this is getting played out, man. Come on.
Adam Pearce congratulates Penta along with Javon Evans. He interrupts saying that he wants to become the IC champions. Penta's like, okay, buddy. That is when Adam Pearce introduces the newest member of the Raw roster, Ethan Page from Hamilton. Yeah. Dramatic pause. Ontario, Canada.
Oh, wait. Checks notes. No, like blank piece of paper. Checks notes. I'm sorry. I thought it was the women's tag team championships. Is this Page? Is this the wrong page I have here? All right. A lot of pages getting called up now, huh? This is weird. I didn't realize.
That's your point?
No, that was a bad joke. If I had led into it, it would have been better, but you led into it. So
I know it would have been. I know what you were going for. Yeah.
Yes, Asuka does need to become a singles competitor again. You are correct, Scott. And hopefully she will take on Sol Ruca, who was another call up here. This whole thing with Paige was awesome. Taking on Javon Evans, like kind of a callback to their NXT days. Like, great little match here. I think Penta's going to like go over for a while here, maybe on guys like Paige and other things. Maybe Javon is the person they'll put it on eventually, but we're going to have mid-card's going to be heating up here. And I think we're going to be hearing that a lot. Is Cordona? Yeah. He's on Monday Night Raw, right? No, he's on SmackDown. He's on SmackDown.
Well, you want him to have a action figure match?
No, maybe. Yes. Oh, dude, Julian loves his action figures too, though, eh? No, but like Paige and Cardona, I just like, I don't know. That's like undercard. God, that's all the undercard goodness you could ever want right there. It's like, yes, mid-card, baby. Give me that mid-card. Cardona versus Ethan Page for the U.S. title. God, hook it to my vein.
You know here's the thing that puzzles me. You had gold with Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, and of course they put them on separate shows.
Well, okay, this is okay. There's another Cardona thing, right? Like you were with my girl, and then But Cardona and Chelsea should get together and do something down in AAA. Like they would be they're so colorful and loud, and the Mexicans just love them or love to hate them, whichever direction they decide to go, and they'll have no problem with it. And Cardona loves, like, he'll dress up like a complete asshole. He'll do all kinds of costumes and things, and if they really let him,
you know who I would love to see? Awesome. I would love to see Sam Adonis and Cardona do something in AAA.
Yeah, not a lot going on with Sammy, man. It's too bad. I don't think they're. I thought they might bring
heard from much from him in a while.
He has dealt with a couple of injuries as well, but he's trying to get book play. I don't know. I'd like to know more, but he's been a little bit radio silent lately. We had his quick chat, but didn't answer any questions. Only answered the stuff I didn't really care about. they're like introductory, how you doing kind of stuff, and then like the actual questions got ignored.
CM Punk enters, very mixed reaction. He kind of says, yeah, he lost, but he credits the fans. He help him through the grief and all this fun stuff. He says that he's still the best in the world. Cody Rhodes comes out. Man, Cody Rhodes looked beat the hell up. They have a back and forth, and Rhodes kind of says that, he's going to be doing what he needs to do as champion, and he would be ready when another opportunity arises. This is what CM Punk says, and Rhodes says, just say when.
Yeah, man. Like, the good, strong follow-up promo here from Punk, addressing the loss head on, saying he's going to be around, doing all of his like altruistic CM Punk, bearing myself to you guys while still trying to be as cool as possible. And, Rhodes had a very interesting demeanor throughout the whole thing, like sad, but strong, but like hurting and like, I don't know, very Cody-ish. I like it. This kind of wrote itself. It's too bad that most likely this injury is so bad that he might have to vacate, which is the whole like title. What did he say? How did he word it? Like falling from the sky. What are the chances that a title match is going to fall from the sky? Like, I feel like that's just what they were doing there. But the whole just say when, like the arena reacted to that. There's a bit of a like I thought it was cheesy, but it was like a genuine kind of like reaction from the crowd. It wasn't just like a can like, ah! Like they baited them in, but it was like the slow way that he said it. I don't know. I noticed the reactions seemed a little bit different, and the exchange between them, like I said, it just wrote itself. There's tension, there's history, there's timing, there's friendship, there's so much there, and it can be like face on face, heel on heel. Punk's always good at coming back and being like Cody, like if Cody turns heel, giving him his CM Punk finger wag. So like there could be a reason there, but yeah, pretty good. I don't. What do you think? You think Cody's going to probably have to vacate, man, and then you've got,
I think they're going to wait as long as humanly possible to make that call. I think it'll be like the weekend before Backlash or something, but they're really dude, his head alone, like he's for sure on a concussion protocol at this point, right? Like there's no way he's not. They can't let him wrestle with an orbital injury in his eye like that.
He certainly looked doughy like at Mania after the fact. But it's really too bad. Like Randy got him good. It looked like he even had like swelling down the side.
Damn good. Like poor guy. Cody can't buy a break. You had what's his face last year at Elimination Chamber beating the shit out of him, and then you had Cody just decimating him. The Rock all last year's WrestleMania setup, or I guess eliminate or previously getting his ass kicked.
The pec tear with Seth in the cage. Yeah. And I'm like, man, that was perfect though. Like, completely off the bone, so you can't harm it anymore. And like the bruising was at its like literal worst peak.
I remember.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
I was watching the show in Vancouver with my brother. It was just like he was at the time he was still living in a hotel. He was flying back and forth a lot, and I went to go visit him. And so it was just the two of us, just the two brothers watching wrestling. I just remember seeing that reaction when he took off the jacket. It was like, holy F, that's insane.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that you'll always remember, I think.
Yeah, like Cody likes to capitalize on things, almost to the point that he's a little like self-indulgent. Like, you know what I mean?
One of Cody's things.
Yeah, and in fact, this entire segment, as fun as it was, the fact that it's post-Mania, the fact that Cody's face, Punk without his title, like we still have that after Mania vibe, like I was saying, like that feeling we're searching for. And this gave us a bit of it. But if this was like middle of the year or two guys that weren't like right at the top of their game, this could be looked at as an overly long, self-indulgent, like, hey buddy, and then like they put themselves over, right? You know, putting you over. If I don't, you know, instead of me putting myself over, how about if you come in the ring and I'll put you over and then you put me over?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, hey, yeah. So like there are days where we've rolled our eyes at this, but this one was done well. It just was verging on the bit of being too long, but the after WrestleMania tone and the ambiguousness of what the future holds gave this a little extra interest. But they're, you know, take this whole thing to a different month of the year, and we might have all been like, all right, 2 or 3 minutes too long. Let's go. Yeah, you guys are cool. You guys are cool. You guys are friends. Okay, bye. Right. So, but tonight I liked it.
There we go. Scott with the comment of the night right there. Build up to Mania. Cody gets kicked in the dick. After Mania, his face is messed up. Finn Balor. Finn Balor talks about his issues with the Judgment Day, saying that he's not done yet, and he calls out good old JD McDonough ahead of their match later in the night. This leads us into Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. This was a damn fun match. You knew that these guys were going to have a good match. They had good matches in NXT, awesome rivalry in NXT. Yeah, they continued it on the main roster here on Raw. Fun match. Ethan Page getting the win as Rusev attacks Javon Evans.
The Rusev thing caught me off guard, and I was pleased to see it. You know?
I like it.
And, and like Page being there, like, hey, go ahead. And Rusev, like, you know, like, I don't know, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
Let's give Rusev. He didn't get an entrance at WrestleMania, but let's give him a bit of a program here, you know. And like, dude, you really want to get heat on the IC title right now because you've got Page who has a lot of interest, and him winning the title would be like, you know, it wouldn't get real heat. It would get like WWE scripted heat. Oh, the new heel came in and took the title, and now he's cheating to win against Javon and Penta and like the current contenders, and like that's how they do it sometimes. You want to get real heat. Have freaking Rusev take the title because no one's expecting that. Nobody wants that. And then have him be all like, bah, you know, beating up Javon and not letting people it doesn't have to be long term, but that would get boos, that would get heat, it would get interest. You'd have people online talking negative, and that, you know, any publicity is good publicity these days, especially with TKO. So,
yeah, exactly. But you know what? For the first time in a long time, or maybe I'm just being very selective, using selective memory right now. But for the first time in a very long time, the IC division feels like an actual division.
It does. It does. And now Becky Lynch has the IC women's title again, which like that's one. It's like an ebb and flow. Like every time she gets it, it's at a peak. There's no denying that Becky's one of the greatest women wrestlers on the roster. She's a top main event star, and she's been every time she gets this mid-card title, it makes it more coveted to win because you're winning it from her, winning it from AJ Lee, or winning it from Raquel Rodriguez, but winning it from Roxanne Perez, who ended up getting a roll up off of Becky after a thing. You know, it's not as much as beating Becky Lynch at a pay-per-view.
Man, right? Raquel Rodriguez, she's got so much steam. Just let go from her Royal Rumble and like all the headway that she's made over the past few months. And I feel like,
it wouldn't take much to heat her up again. She's not.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not 3 months from now. 3 months from now, we might be like, what happened to Raquel? But like, if in the next week or two, she like wrecks Vaquer or like comes through and like does something to someone or shows up on another show, like we would all buy into it right away. So it wouldn't take much. But yeah, if they let her cool off too much, she's not just gonna be cold. She's gonna get rock hard. And you're gonna be like, oh man, these are ruined now. We let them cool.
Danhausen shows up and he says he's the new GOAT. He wants a cereal brand and an animated series.
That would be great. And those are the first two requests that he's made that could actually happen, and I would be into. A lot of the other stuff was either very self-serving, impossible, or
you got a blimp.
He did get a blimp. He asked for a blimp and he got a blimp. That was a paltry blimp. If you notice on the wide shots, they actually had like 4 of them. So there's one going around the arena. But if you look down at one point, they had like 3 more like in these little slots, like off to the side. So like they must have been like
recharging
them off. Yeah, whatever it was, right? But I was all like, hey, look, there's 3 more blimps down there. He's got an army of blimps. Lucky guy.
Liv Morgan versus Sol Ruca was next. This match was pretty fun, and then Zarya shows up and gets Sol Ruca to continue their feud. Wonder if that means that she's also heading to the main roster, or this is just a big FU on your way out?
Jeez, I don't know.
Liv Morgan wins, by the way.
I could live without Zarya on the main roster. Give Sol Ruca some breathing room here because she's a star. She's smooth as ice. Smooth as butter. Cold as ice, smooth as butter. She knows what she's got. She's even said my height, gives me an advantage over other girls that come from tumbling and acrobatics, and I work well into WWE. She's awesome. She's got a great look because the whole she's gonna be the Matt Riddle that they wanted. They're gonna give her all the surf stuff, and they're gonna be like, yes, let's go. Everything's gonna be neon and beach oriented and Sol Ruca. It's a great name. I actually didn't see the Zarya attack. I guess I must have walked away at that moment, went to the bathroom or refilled my tea or something like that, because I didn't even know that happened. And I saw it later on and I was like, wait, that happened? I must have I bet Sol was leaving or whatever happened. And I was like, all right, this match is over. And I thought she might be like, or something. I didn't think it was going to happen. So I didn't see that. I don't know. When I did see it online, somebody was talking about, maybe I missed something else. They were talking about Vicaire and Zarya, or did they have an interaction?
So Steph Vicaire confronts Morgan on the ramp, and they continue their back and forths.
But no, somebody was talking about Vicaire and Zarya. They didn't have an interaction, or there was no. Okay, it must have just been them talking about the two interactions on the stage, and I thought they were talking about Vicaire and Zarya. So I wasn't sure what I missed because I didn't see that bit, like I was saying. But one guy was talking about Vicaire. Maybe he was hypothesizing them being a tag team, or I don't know, having a match. I don't know, whatever. But I thought I missed something else that had to do with Steph and Zarya, which would indicate Zarya is definitely coming up onto Raw. But they need, like Scott's saying here, they need a strong female now that Rhea's going to SmackDown.
From Adelaide. You missed the key point here.
Oh, yeah. From where he lives, or from where is Adelaide? That's in Australia?
Australia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw that and I skipped over it because I was like, okay. But in general, my opinion, that's Scott's opinion. My opinion is that they need strong females on Raw now that Rhea is going to SmackDown, and they need strong females all together everywhere. And before we go, I don't like the all time. I hate it. I hate it so much that I might actually.
That's the point.
I know that what heels are for, but there's a difference between being grating on people and being annoying, and just that is turn off the TV annoying. You can't assault me with something that I'm like, okay, I'll turn it off.
She can do no wrong.
Sorry, man.
My eyes. She can do whatever she wants to my ears, my eyes.
I'll miss little bits of the segment because I'll walk out of the room to go fill up my tea because I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll walk out because it's too much for me. But maybe that's just because I'm an old man. But I don't know. Cool stuff here, I guess.
Paul Heyman comes out with Logan Paul and Austin Theory, praises Brock Lesnar, shits on production, talks some more stuff, moves on to Gunther, talks about the favor. So now this is a big thing again, the favor. We'll stop there. Thoughts on Paul Heyman stuff before Braun Breaker comes out?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have a weird feeling like they're going to screw up this favor thing. I think maybe Brock retiring before they expected, because that's what some of the rumors are, right? That he said that he might, or I don't.
Just remember, he did put up the X. Right before
that was his way of saying it's real, Paul. It's real, Paul. Like my stomach, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. He's decided. I don't know. I haven't given this much thought. I'm hoping. The whole favor and Paul Heyman thing is obviously a Band-Aid, something they came up with to make a program for Seth and have something going on here. So wouldn't surprise me if they somehow drop it. Hopefully they keep it hopefully it's like a Money in the Bank briefcase. We all forget about it for a while until they pull it out when it's necessary, when we least expect it and when it helps a storyline,
Yeah. Kind of like they did with Punk and Reigns for a few months.
Kind of, yeah. Or it's like when Christian Cage showed up with his contract and got a title shot on AEW. That's how it is. Or when MJF comes back and is all like, hey, I get my thing. Whatever. You get my point.
Braun Breaker comes out, talks about kind of saying, look what I did to Seth. Seth attacks him. They get in a fight. Ultimately, Braun Breaker spears Seth Rollins a few times.
Yes, but the Street Profits came out. Is this the point where the Street Profits came out?
That's where they come out. Yep, that's where I was going with this.
You would think they've been off TV for so long, and now they're coming out with no shirts on. You would think that Dawkins would look a little better. Like, this is WWE, man. Like, you have access to so much. Like, I don't know. He's not Samoan, right? Like, he doesn't have much of an excuse. Like, give me a break. Let's cut that those abs a little. I don't know what to say.
That's funny.
But yeah, they look great. It's just because Fox Montez Ford is so thin as well as like thin and lithe as well as muscular, that like Chris Bay look, that it's just so much more obvious with Dawkins. If Dawkins was stocky and built, like I don't need to see his abs. I just need to not really see his flab. Like he could get like just a little harder. Like Jacob Fatu did it in like 8 months. Fatu came back and looking amazing. How long has Dawkins been on this roster? Like 18 years or some shit. Like I think it's like 14, 15 years, like a long, long time. Well, before Ford, before any of these guys, he's like early NXT. So like, bro, is this like it's glandular, bro. Okay, whatever. Stop drinking milkshakes in the airport because you're bored. He did look a little better. Don't compare him to Montez. All right, Scott. I'm not,
Hey, having said that, I don't know if you saw pictures of Montez Ford when he made an appearance for NXT. He was not looking that great, to say the least.
Really?
Yeah, a few months ago. Dude, let me try to... Okay, Finn Balor versus JD McDonough was next. Finn Balor wins. Talk about that match. Let me find this picture.
Okay. Well, that would have been peak lying around baby making time, like if he was off and she was off and they were, he's like eating donuts and not going to the gym so much because he's got some time off and a little bit of the old stroking her the long way, as it were, Boris, right? And now we've got a baby and he's getting back in shape because he's got a program with Seth Rollins taking on division. You want me to talk about McDonough and Balor? This is great. I'm glad they're pushing McDonough a little bit. We all knew he was going to lose, but I still think they did a great job. And, the coup de grace, he's great. Coup de gras is great because he had his ribs all taped up and all this stuff. But we'll see. Hopefully, Balor looks all like he's like on his way to John Cena, like Guy Smiley face. Yeah, okay. I remember seeing this picture or something similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Like he's very, now that he's a good guy, he's all like he's baby facing it. That whole Finn Balor's not a good actor thing. Yeah, like Finn Balor's not a good actor. So when he's like, you're a baby face now, he's like, okay. It's really too bad.
I need to smile.
So hopefully they don't screw this up. Hopefully he can get some stank on him and we all care. But what are they going to do with Finn Balor? Like IC title seems like a little, I don't know. Are you going to put the IC title on him? Kind of seems like a waste. He's not going to be world champ. Unless they could get there. But like I said, he's not a good promo. He's not a good actor. He's like, he can't pull off what Punk and Reigns have been doing. And he can't pull off any of this.
Or Ethan Page. Or this is the thing. We have so much new talent that is just better than him and better suited than him for a world title shot. Like, and Finn Balor's not a spring chicken.
I could see him and Damian teaming up together with a cool new entrance and being tag champs for a while and having a run. I could see him going down to AAA, doing some stuff down there where you don't have to speak perfect English. He could have some great runs. But right now, WWE, TKO, corporate, international, I've gotten used to his accent. His accent used to be so jarring. He's taken the edge off of it, and like listening to him talk now was not like so like hard Irish. And like Sheamus and Becky Lynch sound like just normal Irish people. Finn Balor sounded like, whoa, he was hard, man. It was like, whoa,
yeah.
Oh,
you don't want to steal
Irish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know when I noticed this? I noticed this recently. The interview he did with Cody Rhodes on his podcast.
Yeah.
Where I was able to listen to the entire interview.
Yeah.
Without being taken aback.
Yeah. So he's taking the edge off all of his time living in America and being on TV and whatnot, but. Yeah, I don't think it's there for him right now. It's too bad.
Dom Mysterio goes for the attack. Balor fought him off. McDonough gets him down, or gets Mysterio off of him. Gunther says he intended to reclaim the world title. He kind of laughs and scoffs at the idea that he's with Paul Heyman. LA Knight interrupts, makes it clear that he was also targeting the championship. So, yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah, like LA Knight. Like, what are you doing, pal? Like, there's no way that this ends well for LA Knight. You're gonna approach Gunther now after WrestleMania. Hey, bud. Now, granted, we might have a like, okay, see, this is Raw, right? I keep thinking Cody's probably going to get rid of his title, and all these people like LA Knight, Gunther, Obafemi, everybody on the Raw
that
roster.
Roman's going to go through.
Yeah, like everybody that's on the Raw roster, I'm excited about a tournament with them to see who would be the new champ, like Punk and all these people. But then I'm like, oh wait, that's SmackDown, and I'm like,
we're going to get Matt Cardona and Kit Wilson.
Bro, like
and
4 of the MFTs in a tournament. Sorry, like, God, man, but right now, if like Roman was like, by the way, I kind of tore my Achilles tendon during that match, I have to vacate, I'd be like, bully, who's gonna be in this? Like, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Obafemi. Like, oh, like there's just like so many people that would be like great for this freaking tournament. I'm just like, geez, like I'm putting Jey Uso out there because of the yeets and the merchandise, not because I'm like a huge Jey Mark stan. Jey Mark stan. Jey Uso, Mark Stan, whatever. You get my point. There would be some great people on this. And like,
yep. LA Knight has the same issue that Finn Balor has, right? They have a ceiling. And with so much new talent, so much talent that's overall better than them.
Yeah. My thing with LA Knight is he's turned up to 11 all the time, and he needs to bring it down to 9 or 8. It's when Jim Cornette says, don't do the things you can't do. LA Knight's been doing this for so long, but now he's like getting up there and he needs to pull it back. No more jumping up to the top rope. No more talking so fast that you trip over your own words. Like you're a smart guy. You say kind of funny and cutting things. Just slow it down a little, get a little more serious. Like he needs to get rid of like the gaudiness. Like I like this gimmick. It's great and all, but it verges on the Cardona side of things, right? You want to bring it more towards the Stone Cold side of things, or more towards the like just more serious. Like he tries to be serious, but he tries to be serious like a pro wrestler. There's something there, and he's gonna miss his window if he doesn't shake this off. Because he's not Finn Balor on the mic, but he's Finn Balor in the ring. As like I don't have to worry about Finn Balor botching. He's probably not gonna botch. He's pretty damn good.
Dude,
but LA Knight
was it?
I'm worried.
Did the entire world have a collective, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall,
he was on the car
during his WrestleMania entrance?
Yeah, me too. Like just him getting up on like he's,
I'm like, this is it.
We could all see him going like, do you see how they even like cut to the behind shot in case when he jumped down, if he didn't land smooth, they could like, they know, right? He's been tagged by management as that guy. So he needs
Let's watch this back. Hold on. Let's watch this back. I want to see if they re-edited that view to show the front view since he didn't F it up.
Yeah, because they didn't want to do it on live.
Homework.
But like Stone Cold can be sloppy and screw up and it doesn't look
because that's
bad.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's weird. But when LA Knight does it, it does. Because, are you looking for the reason I kept talking is because I thought you were bringing something up. Are you looking for it?
No, I'm looking at my notes.
Oh. I thought you said you were going to bring it up.
I did bring it up.
It's on Netflix, though, so it won't show, right? Because we're streaming.
The picture. Picture. Which I brought up a long time ago. I said we have homework for next episode.
Okay.
Roman Reigns. I can't show Netflix on YouTube. That's going to get you all the strikes.
It's true. This is true.
Roman Reigns closes out the show.
Wait. We have not talked about the fact that Joe Hendry, they said Joe Hendry's going to be on Raw. It was right before this segment. He said Joe Hendry's going to be on Raw next week and that he's going to have a concert next week. So that means we've got Paige, Ruca, and Hendry have all pretty much, and Obafemi have all said, yo, Raw, we're Raw. So who's going to SmackDown? You've got Royce Keys now permanently SmackDown, like JC Jane. Like who do you think, before we move to the main event here, who do you think is going to be a call up for SmackDown?
Great question. You know what? I'm going to say Zarya. The reason why I say Zarya is because, like you said, they might want to keep her and Soul off the same brand or on different brands. So I can see Zarya. In terms of men, who do we got? I guess Tony D'Angelo is a champ. Ethan Page has already done stuff. I don't even know who else is on NXT.
I could see a Ricky Starks and I could see a
Ricky Starks.
JC Jane.
I can see Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I can
Ricky
see
and Cody, they'll be together.
Yeah. So like those are the two people I'm expecting to see this week. Or no, well, I don't know if I'm expecting to see Ricky because I think they might keep him down there with D'Angelo for a while, but I am expecting to see JC Jane 100% this Friday, if not next.
All right.
Yeah, and Joe Hendry. Who's going to interrupt Joe Hendry? He's not just going to come out and sing, bro. So what's going to happen to Joe Hendry next week? Who is screwing with Joe Hendry next week? Ethan Page or Danhausen. Yeah, there's some classic
That'd be
opportunity
good.
there. And then Kit Wilson comes out. Kit Wilson and Joe Hendry are primed for like, give me that undercard goodness. Oh, right there. Like they're primed for that. So
Yeah.
we'll probably see
Kate Wilson's
that.
on SmackDown though.
Yeah. Oh, he is? God damn it. That Miz as well. See, I keep like, that's what I mean. Every time I think of a good mid-card like person, they're all on SmackDown. And like the tournament I want to happen is like gonna have lame people in it because all the good people are on Raw. That's kind of weird. Maybe they do need a draft. We'll go back to the beginning of this segment and I'll just change, I'll edit it.
We'll
So
be like Netflix and just re-edit the beginning of the show.
Yes.
Or WWB like TKO. Backstage, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have an emotional farewell. Ripley says she's moving to SmackDown. We see Liv Morgan say, see you soon. That's that.
Yeah, man.
Roman Reigns closes the show along with Jimmy and Jay. They all call for acknowledgement. They talk about family ties. Roman Reigns talks about unity and the importance of standing together, with Jimmy saying, yes, we do. Jacob Fatu comes out and he makes it clear that he is targeting Reigns' position and everything that he comes with. He says, and I quote, I don't want the title. I need the title.
That was pretty good. Yeah, he's like, I don't want that title, cousin.
Yeah,
I need that title,
Hillbilly
cousin.
Jim.
And everybody's like, oh, and they show Roman like, I do a good Fatu. I don't have the timbre, but I got the cadence.
But you make it sound like he's Hillbilly Jim.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have the timbre, but I do have the cadence. I don't know. Did you have anything else to say about this?
Roman questions whether Fatu can handle the pressure of the role before telling him, you might want to consider this before we talk next week.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Jacob's not going to beat Roman in his first defense. Roman's going to go through the summer, if not SummerSlam, then all the way to Mania. This might be his last run, you know? He's realizing that he doesn't want to be a CM Punk. He's like, you know what? I'm starting to miss it already. Let's do this while I still got it.
Yep.
I was disappointed in this segment, not because it was a bad segment. It was okay.
What did you want to happen?
Certainly Fatu coming out, his music hitting the Fatu, boom, 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 and the red light like that. Everybody was like, whoa. All right, so that was good. But I wanted him to come out and tell us why this title was important to him. And I certainly, you said that like he came out and you're like, unity, talking about unity and moving forward. That's just manipulation. It's same old Roman manipulating his cousins. He's like, hey, you got a washed up rapper making fun of you. And like people see him Punk coming at me. Like, who does he think? Like he actually thought he could come for me. Like when we are apart, we are weak, but when we are together, we are strong. We are together. He's just manipulating them again. He's never said sorry. He's never changed his attitude. He's still the same self-centered, evil MFer. He's missing the T, but he's still a bloodline guy. He's not an MFT, but he's an MF. That's for darn sure. Right, that's what it actually stands for. The MFTs, right? It's the MF Mother Effing Toggins. Yeah. So there you go. He's a Mother Effing Smoan, the MFS, and he's dude. I think he's just manipulating these guys. Not that they'll do it in storyline. They might never find out. Like who knows? And if it really works out, everybody, like a lot of people online saying that Jay was telling him what to do. Well, was Jay the boss of just because of the bloodline? Because of that thing a few weeks ago where he was like, you know what to do. You know what to do? And then he's like, yeah, and he speared him. Like that's just like lieutenants and camaraderie and friends. He's already being like, what took his wife taking so long? Jay was always the hothead. So he's so hot that he's saying like, come on, and Roman's like, you're right. You are right today, cousin. Bam. And he speared him. So I think they're still the underlings. Roman's still in charge. I think Jacob could come into what could possibly be NWO 2000 here, like a rehash of the bloodline once again. And then I guess Timu MFTs, the T stands for Timu over there. The Timu bloodline will still exist, I guess. But I wanted him to come out and talk about why the title was important. Because he was putting it down before, right? He's like he was calling this title the Timu title. It's the non-important title, right? It's the makeshift title because I wasn't around because of how important I am. And now he was crapping on it so much. And now it had to be made because of him, because he had both titles and wasn't around. And now he has it after shitting on it. I had to use the S word, man. I kept trying to find something else, but that's what he did. And the best way for him to say is that, like, the reason this is important is because I took it from that MF. We're going to MF this whole thing. I took it from CM Punk, and this will always be my favorite title, my greatest, not my best victory, not my greatest match,
My favorite.
but my favorite, because I took it from CM Punk, and that's why this is a great title, and that's why it's awesome, and I'm gonna wear this title with pride, and ain't nobody gonna take my baby from me. It still smells like dirty downtown hipster. CM Punk, I can smell the Chicago hipster on this thing, and I'm never gonna wash it. Every day I want to remember your blood on my hands. I hate you so much. Like, I need a writing job at WWE. Not because I'm so good at storylines, but if they're like, this is the storyline, I'll be like, I'll write the promo. I'll make it a little more intense for you.
There you go. Gives you something to do. Gives you something to look
something
up
to do. Go get a casual job at WWE, right?
Yeah, it gives you something to do. You know, I mean, when you
see, that's often what I think. I don't know if, like, I don't always criticize directions of storylines because things change a lot. Often directions are taken because of have tos, not want tos, and things that we're not even prevalent to, or ideas from the future and like whatever. But sometimes I don't like delivery. I think a lot of guys could be trained up more, talk to more. I like that they're doing more backstage stuff. Finn sounds great in a pre-done promo. Asuka sounds great in a pre-done promo. A lot of people look good and sound good in pre-done promos. I'd like to get more of them. You know, we didn't have very much of that on WrestleMania itself. Funny enough, we had so many commercials. There was like almost no promos,
which
and
is
no
weird.
pre-match hype packages and stuff.
We used to go from all the hype packages and backstage. You don't know what you have till it's gone, my friends.
Yep. Oh, it always seems to go. Dum, 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 far too. Sorry.
That was the Raw after WrestleMania. Overall, it was a good time. Overall, WrestleMania. You know what? It's WrestleMania. It's wrestling. I'm not too hard on it. So I had a fun
dude,
time.
You're rubbing me the long way. Now you got a hard on. We need to end this.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever. All right. Time for us to go. Hutch, where can we find your work?
You can find me at Hutch Henry's on all your social medias. Check out the TikTok that's going to go live this week with everything from Demand Lucha, Hutch Henry's, and from Demand Lucha Talks. Go to at Demand Lucha Talks. Got a brand new video today on the first ever masked wrestler in Mexico, and he was a white dude.
Go figure. You have a busy week with Demand Lucha.
We got this Thursday, Demand Lucha live at the Parkdale Hall, luchamarket.com for tickets. Check us out on YouTube if you want to see hype packages and the event coming up soon. And dude, tomorrow I'm building risers for a WWE commercial. It's my only gig this. And they called me because of it. I'm not even part of this carpentry crew. They were like, hey, Jay. And I'm like, oh, hey, Tommy. He's like, I'm doing this. You want to come? You're a wrestling guy. So I'm working with a bunch of carpenters I don't work with building risers just because it's a WWE commercial. And they were like, yo, come on out. And I'm sure that we'll have, there'll be nobody from WWE there. Like maybe Daryl Sharma or something. Like, I don't know. But it'll still be fun.
Daryl Sharma.
I'm going to build boxes with legs and paint them black and go home and be like, woohoo, WWE. But I got a gig out of the fact that I'm a wrestling fan. So isn't that nice?
There you go. Getting that TKO money, baby.
Yeah. Awesome.
A+Productions.com is where you can find all things about A+ Wrestling. Go to your podcasting app, search for A+ Wrestling or A+ Productions. Hit that subscribe, leave a review, be part of the conversation. Facebook.com and search for A+ Productions. On behalf of the entire A+ crew, thank you so much for listening. We will be back next Tuesday on YouTube at Hutch Henry's and on Friday on KPHR Hamilton. Thank you so much for listening, but most importantly, stay tranquilo.